Lawmakers have until this Friday at midnight to pass a stopgap funding bill to avoid a government shutdown. But with the clock ticking, congressional leaders are still wrangling over a number of sticking points, including hurricane disaster relief.
We've been working around the clock to get the CR done. It was intended to be, and it was until recent days, a very simple, very clean CR, stopgap funding measure to get us into next year when we have unified government under the Republican Party. But a couple of intervening things have occurred. We had, as we say, as we describe them, acts of God.
CBS News political reporter Taurean Small is at the Capitol with more. Taurean, what are the sticking points for lawmakers?
Yeah, Lindsay, like you laid out there, hurricane disaster relief is one of the biggest disagreements. It appears Republicans and Democrats just can't see eye to eye on. Just to remind you, President Biden asked Congress to appropriate about $100 billion. That's a price tag Republicans are just uneasy with. They would like to see where that money is going. And then we also have aid for farmers, both in disaster relief there, but also in economic assistance. This comes on the heels of Congress not being able to pass a reauthorization of the Farm Bill. This is a bill that needs to be approved by Congress, a huge spending package for agriculture every 5 years. The last time it happened was in 2018. When the time came up again in 2023, they decided to offer a one-year extension. They're back to the drawing board again. It's likely that we'll see, as a writer, another extension to provide more funding for farmers sometime soon.
Well, House Republicans appear to be angry with Speaker Johnson over his handling of the CR. Why is that?
Lindsay, partially because of the timeline. We saw the speaker renege twice now on when we'll get the legislation, the text for this continuing resolution. He said it will be over the weekend. That didn't happen. He said it will be yesterday, so Monday night. That also didn't happen. And this morning he said, and leadership said that it was imminent. Still, we're waiting to see the text of that bill. They're also just not happy with the fact that if it does come out today and it sticks to the timeline that he has, which is a floor vote on Thursday, that would be within the 72-hour rule that House Republicans put on the table for bills that gives lawmakers the opportunity to review for 3 days any bill that comes before them before a vote. So Republicans aren't happy about that. In fact, quite a few Republicans are questioning whether or not they will support Speaker Johnson when it comes to a vote for his speakership again in January. No word yet on if this will be a same situation we saw with Kevin McCarthy, but a lot of unhappy Republicans, especially on the far right.
Let's also talk about these drones. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is bringing legislation to the floor today to address this unusual drone activity in a number of states. What does the legislation call for?
Well, the senator previewed that this legislation would provide tools for local law enforcement and their drone detection services. This is really an issue that has worried and really drum up bipartisan worries here on Capitol Hill. Schumer was one of 3 senators from New Jersey and New York who sent a letter to various departments asking for the government to intervene and investigate what exactly is happening here. This is just the latest measure on the Hill for lawmakers looking for more answers.
The House is also set to take up a measure championed by Paris Hilton called the Stop Institutional Child Abuse Bill. Do we expect to see this approved and potentially on the president's desk?
Potentially. So we saw last week that the Senate unanimously passed this out of their chamber. Paris Hilton told reporters that she was overjoyed by that happening, and she urged the House to take it up shortly after. We know, though, that the priorities on this side of the House or this side of Congress is a bit different, and House members are just looking to keep the government open. That's their biggest priority. If it happens, though, it's likely that it will get bipartisan approval. She came to the Hill. She talked to both Republicans and Democrats, and it appears that this is one of those issues that could bring everyone together. It's just a matter of will there be enough time to get this to the floor vote before the session ends.
Taurean Small, thank you.